This is the Awake Athlete Podcast. I'm Jessica Mikowski, mindset coach and plant-powered athlete on a mission to guide all who are ready to great heights in sports performance and life. Through the 10,000-foot view, I share teachings of living awake with the sole purpose that we all realize our innate power to be the masters of our minds. Welcome back to another episode of the Awake Athlete Podcast. So good to have you guys here. All right, mental vacations. We need them. Oh, wow. Do we need them? They're so important. And what is a mental vacation? So I talk a lot about, transitioning wisely. And I do think that that is perhaps a part of taking mental vacations throughout the day. But the mental vacation that I'm going to talk about today is a planned break. It's on your calendar. At 3 o'clock, I'm taking a mental vacation. I'm going to do a mental vacation meditation. It's devoid of the interference of everyday life. And it's an incredibly potent way to refill our coffers, so that we may be our best for ourselves. Yeah, of course, we want to be our best. We'll feel our best. We'll look our best. But more importantly, we'll be our best for our families, our communities, whether that be at work or, in our athletic communities. And your coffers are full and you're at your best when people say things like, "Oh, I love your energy." And for a long time, people would say that to me and I would say, "Thank you, thank you." And I added something to that after a while when I really realized that meditation, yoga, training the mind, that yeah, I totally understand what they're feeling when they say, "I love your energy," because I'm living in that energy. And I would say that a lot of that has to do with taking breaks, stepping away. It can be as extensive as, one of the Costa Rica retreats where we're gone for 8 days, 7 nights, and that is a total step away from the world. And really, it's a total step away from the world, but it feels so big because you're traveling and it's days and, your mailbox is not there, your overgrown lawn isn't there, your dust bunnies in the corner aren't there. You've completely stepped away from your life. And so with that, with the enormity of something like going on a retreat, you really reap the enormity of that solace. And it's a really, it's nothing I've ever been able to experience in replication other than being on retreat. First as a guest for many, many years, and now as a host. And then transitioning wisely, I started that a long time ago. I just realized that I would get so rushed. I would just be crazy. And I remember this one day, I was slamming and jamming around the house. I was late. I don't know. I was probably frustrated about something. Definitely, because I remember I was really angry. And I got in the car and I put the car in. I started up real quick and I threw it in reverse and I laid on the gas. And the car went flying down the driveway, which I had done that before in a fit of like rage or frustration pretty much rage or frustration. I remember coming to the bottom of the driveway and I slammed on the brakes and I, because I wasn't just going to shoot out into the road. I was going to look, but I slammed on the brakes because I had to stop the car because of how fast it was going in reverse for like 15 yards. There was a guy. I don't know who he was. Thank God it wasn't like my neighbor, but there was a guy who was walking up the sidewalk and he looked terrified. Like he had realized that he was going to be hit by this car. And I thought, oh my God, that was such a profound moment of like, girl, you got to slow down. Like that man was one of the biggest gifts in my life. But, I could have just taken that moment and just buried over it and continued to do things out of, high levels of reaction. But I didn't, and I started slowing down. I knew I was learning a lot about the body at the time. This story that I just told is from when we lived in Boulder, and I was learning a lot about the body at the time in massage school and going through a lot of change and growth in massage school. And I was ready for it, and I just knew how terrible stress was. I knew it was like just an incubator for disease, and I didn't want that. And then, having come so close from literally like driving somebody over, there was many other moments, but that was a really big moment of like, you got to slow down and, do what your mom taught you. Like, don't go to bed angry. Don't leave the house angry. Like, don't drive angry. We got to work on our minds. So mental vacation. Yeah, we need a mental vacation. There's a lot going on. So sure, it can be a couple breaths before you come into the house. It can be, a 5-minute yoga flow on your mat. I think those are all like the transitioning wisely. But a mental vacation being like a scheduled break with zero interference from your life and really going with it, going on a vacation, going to a place where you can feel really peaceful and relaxed, whether that's a white sand beach, whether that's sitting beside a forest stream, go there. And I recently did this meditation after I had led it in Awake Athlete, in the community Awake Athlete. And for me, what came in so naturally was this beach in Costa Rica, Guiones Beach, at Blue Spirit. And wow, it really works if you're willing to just put yourself there. You'll have a profoundly relaxing result. And so following this episode will be a 15-minute guided mental vacation meditation. And they're incredibly important because everything uses bandwidth. Even the joyful days, certainly the high highs, that's all energy output. So being able to step away from it all into a very neutral space of calm, relaxation, and peace is a wonderful way to feel refreshed afterwards, fill up those coffers, and give to yourself, like really give time and space, which is love for yourself. So give this mental vacation meditation a try. And return to it and notice how you feel and consider those big, enormous steps out of life on retreat, and also consider the one breath moments that can shift everything and give you the space and the permission to begin again. Are the messages in this podcast resonating with you? Is there a spark that has been flamed in a part of you that wants more? Get over to awakeathlete.com right now and click on the homepage link to schedule your free 30-minute discovery call with me. Because if not now, when?